Good afternoon, I'm Paolo del Rosario sitting in for Mai Rodriguez. Today on Newsfeed at noon. Typhoon Marce knocks out power in Cagayan province and forces the evacuation of thousands of people. The camp of Senator Gatchalian distancing the lawmaker from the SUV recently caught along the exclusive EDSA bus lane and being linked to his family. U.S. President-elect Donald Trump makes his first key appointment. Meanwhile, President Joe Biden urges Americans to lower the political temperature following his former rival's stunning election victory. And the first artwork made by a humanoid robot is sold for a whopping $1.32 million at an auction. We begin with Typhoon Marce, lashing northern Philippines with violent winds and rains. The storm made 2 landfalls in Cagayan province, where thousands were evacuated. Cagayan Governor Manuel Mamba tells BNC's Weather HQ power in the province is down and many houses were damaged. No reported fatalities as of this morning.
About 23,000 evacuees, composed of about 8,000 families, pero karamihan naman na ito pauwi na, no? And counted dito are those mga adapt neighbor. Now we also count them as evacuees.
An update now on Typhoon Marce, which was last spotted 100 kilometers west-northwest of Lawag City, Ilocos Norte. It is packing winds of 140 kilometers per hour and gusts of up to 170 kilometers per hour. Weather Bureau Pag-asa says Marce is now less likely to bring heavy rainfall over the country as it moves further away from the Ilocos region. Still, several areas in Luzon are under signal numbers 2 and 1. Here's a look. In other news, the camp of Senator Gatchalian distancing the lawmaker from the Cadillac Escalade caught along the EDSA busway last week and being linked to his family. Gatchalian's office insists the senator had nothing to do with the incident, does not own the vehicle, nor was he in it when it was flagged by traffic enforcers. The office adds Gatchalian does not own the fake 7 protocol plate attached to the SUV. He is also not connected to Orient Pacific Corporation, which owns the vehicle. Securities and Exchange Commission records show the senator's father, brother, and mother are board members of the said firm. Senate Public Services Committee Chair Rafi Tulfo vows to investigate the SUV incident linked to Senator Gatchalian's family. Tulfo tells the BNC's Agenda the probe aims to fix the system of the MMDA and Land Transportation Office regarding the exclusive EDSA bus lanes. He also wants to ensure the Senate's image is clean and is not affected by the issue.
Kasi nung una lumabas tong issue, nag-viral, nalalagay sa alanganin yung pangalan ng 23 senators, 23 na lang kasi wala na si Angara. So ayoko yon. I have to protect the name of the institution to make sure na wala ni isa doon sa amin na ng abuso na pinahiram yung plaka namin sa isang kamag-anak o yung sasakyan na may plaka namin. So therefore, nagsalita ako.
Tulfo also believes violations made by a family member of any senator should not be directly linked to the lawmaker.
Hindi naman siya pwedeng mamili ng kamag-anak. So kung kanyang kamag-anak ay loko-loko, na may kinang plaka, so be it. So kasalanan ng kamag-anak at hindi dapat natin pwede i-connect si senador.
On to the world news, U.S. President-elect Donald Trump makes his first key appointment. Trump has named his campaign manager, Susie Wiles, as his White House Chief of Staff. Wiles is widely credited for running Trump's well-executed and victorious campaign. Trump describes her as tough, innovative, and universally admired and respected. Wiles will be the first woman to hold the post. Chiefs of staff serve as the president's confidant. They will also help execute the president's agenda and is widely considered as someone who shapes and defines a presidency. U.S. President Joe Biden urges Americans to, quote, bring down the temperature following Donald Trump's victory. Biden says he has already talked to Trump and he has promised an orderly transfer of power.
Yesterday, I spoke with President-elect Trump to congratulate him on his victory, and I assured him that I would direct my entire administration to work with his team to ensure a peaceful and orderly transition. That's what the American people deserve. Yesterday, I also spoke with Vice President Harris. She's been a partner and a public servant. She ran an inspiring campaign, and everyone got to see something that I learned early on to respect so much, her character. She has a backbone like a ramrod. She has great character, true character. She gave her whole heart and effort, and she and her entire team should be proud of the campaign they ran.
Biden says Tuesday's vote had proven the integrity of the U.S. electoral system. He also has a message to fellow Democrats still reeling from Kamala Harris's defeat.
You know, we're leaving behind the strongest economy in the world. I know people are still hurting, but things are changing rapidly. Together, we've changed America for the better. Now we have 74 days to finish the term, our term. Let's make every day count. That's the responsibility we have to the American people. Look, folks, you all know it in your lives. Setbacks are unavoidable, but giving up is unforgivable. Setbacks are unavoidable, but giving up is unforgivable. We all get knocked down, but the measure of our character, as my dad would say, is how quickly we get back up.
Heading to Russia now for President Vladimir Putin's first public remarks since Trump's stunning election victory. Putin congratulated Trump and said Russia is ready to talk with the Republican president-elect. He also praised Trump for showing courage during an assassination attempt at a campaign rally in Pennsylvania last July.
You know, you can think of Trump whatever you want, because everyone initially in his first iteration as president said that he was mainly a businessman and that he understood very little about politics and could make mistakes. But first of all, I can tell you, his behavior at the moment of the attempt on his life impressed me. He turned out to be a courageous man. And it's not just about raising his hand and calling for the fight for their common ideals. It's not just about that. Although, of course, you know, it was done in the heat of the moment. A person shows himself in extraordinary circumstances. This is where a person shows himself. And he showed himself, in my opinion, in a very correct way, courageously, like a man.
Over in Canada, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says that he has already spoken with U.S. President-elect Donald Trump. And the global economy was high on the agenda. The two leaders tackled trade, including the U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement that they negotiated during Trump's first term.
I look forward to working with President Trump once again to strengthen North American economic opportunities for the middle class, to grow our economies in ways that make us competitive around the world, to protect North America from the many, many challenges that exist around the world. The world is actually even more difficult and more complicated than it was 4 years ago. And I know that there's lots of work for us to do, and I'm looking forward to do it. On our side, we've been preparing for this. We're looking forward to doing this work.
We're taking a quick break. Still to come, electric vehicle giant Tesla of billionaire Elon Musk officially debuts in the Philippines. That and more when Newsfeed at Noon returns. Welcome back. You're still watching Newsfeed at Noon. Dismissed Bamban Mayor Alice Guo enters a not guilty plea in graft cases filed against her before the Valenzuela Regional Trial Court. Guo appeared in court through video conference, and she is currently detained in the Pasig City Jail, facing charges of graft, qualified human trafficking, money laundering, and tax evasion. That's in relation to her alleged links to illegal pogo operations in Bamban, Tarlac. Cassandra Ong and Sheila Guo, who are both linked to Alice Guo, appear at the Justice Department. This is in connection with a money laundering case against them. Hannah T. joins us on the line for more details. Hannah?
Paolo, high-profile respondents Cassandra Ong and Sheila Guo just left the Department of Justice after undergoing a preliminary investigation on money laundering charges tied to Philippine offshore gaming operators, or POGOs. This case was filed by a joint task force, including the Anti-Money Laundering Council, or AMLAC, National Bureau of Investigation, and the Presidential Anti-Organized Crime Commission, targeting the alleged laundering of funds from illicit POGO activities. Ong arrived around 8:30 this morning, joined by at least 15 co-accused, some of whom are foreign nationals. At 10 a.m., Sheila Guo entered the DOJ, escorted by NBI personnel and notably wearing protective gear. We also spotted Ong's legal counsel, Attorney Rafael Andrada, who clarified that today's proceedings focus on the money laundering allegations. Guo is currently under the custody of the NBI, while Ong is detained at the Correctional Institution for Women in Mandaluyong. Money laundering violations under the Anti-Money Laundering Act carry penalties of 7 to 14 years of imprisonment per count. With 87 counts of money laundering filed against the two and 28 others, AMLAC said that a potential sentence could accumulate to over 500 years. Paolo.
Hannah, what else can we expect from the DOJ's handling of cases against Cassandra Ong? Because apart from money laundering, hindi ba kasama din doon yung human trafficking charge against her and others?
Yes, Paolo, the Justice Department has rescheduled the human trafficking investigation to November 18. This is after the PNP CIDG requested additional time to submit supplemental complaints and witnesses. Ong's legal team will study these new complaints first, and according to Andrada, her legal counsel, they are expected to submit their counter affidavits in a hearing after November 18. Ong, along with 51 others, is facing human trafficking charges linked to the Lucky South 99 operation in Pampanga. Back to you, Paolo.
Thank you for that report. That was Hannah T. reporting live. The country's gross international reserves fall slightly in October. The GIR level settles at $112.43 billion versus the $112.71 billion recorded in end September. The Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas says the decrease mainly reflected the government's net foreign currency withdrawals from its deposits with the BSP to settle its foreign currency debt obligations and pay for various expenditures. The wait is over as Tesla of the world's richest man, Elon Musk, officially debuts in the Philippines. The electric vehicle giant has opened a showroom at Uptown Parade in Taguig City, which features some of its pioneering products. These include Tesla's Model Y, which was crowned the world's best-selling vehicle in 2023. Also on display, the Model 3, which was previously regarded as the world's best-selling electric sedan. The Tesla Experience Center will be open to the public tomorrow, November the 9th, and will run until the 15th. British luxury car maker Bentley, meanwhile, pushes back its target of being fully electric by 5 years. Bentley initially eyed to build only electric models by 2030, but now it says it aims to hit that global goal in 2035, while maintaining their aim to a decarbonized future. Bentley will launch its first fully electric luxury car in 2026. Nissan making deep cuts in the global operations as it struggles with a steep drop in sales. Japan's third largest automaker would slash 9,000 jobs and reduce its global production capacity by 20%. Nissan's chief executive will also take a 50% pay cut. Nissan's global sales fell 3.8% to 1.59 million vehicles in the first half of its fiscal year, due to weakness in its key markets in the US and China. The outlook is also dim as the car maker slashes its annual operating profit forecast to just $973 million compared to $3.7 billion in 2023. A new study shows carbon pollution from private jets of the ultra-rich has soared in the past 5 years. It jumped 46% between 2019 and 2023 and is projected to keep rising unless regulated. The study in the Nature journal Communications, Earth and Environment said private aviation was responsible for 15.6 million tons of CO2 emissions in 2023. The emissions peaked over the European summer and around major global events like the World Cup, the Cannes Film Festival, and UN climate summits. Around 2/3 of the world's private jets are based in the US, with the average passenger having a net worth of $123 million. Now we're taking another breather. Up ahead, the first artwork made by a humanoid robot is sold for a whopping $1.32 million at an auction. We'll give you a look after the break. Stay tuned. Welcome back to this Newsfeed at noon. Wildfires raging in California and the scale of destruction captured on aerial video. As many as 800 firefighters backed by helicopters are battling the wind-driven blazes, which has spread to over 14,000 acres. Over 10,000 people have been told to evacuate as officials describe the situation as dangerous. From wildfires to snow, a blizzard hits the southern parts of New Mexico with several feet of snow closing several roads. Police say over 100 motorists have already been stranded, while over 30,000 people are without electricity. The blizzard is also expected to affect the northern New Mexico and southern Colorado. And before we go, an AI robot makes auction history with a record-breaking artwork at Sotheby's. It's not just the first time a humanoid robot has had its work sold by a major auction house, but the painting by the humanoid Ida also sold for $1.32 million, and the work dubbed as AI God is a 7-foot-tall impressionistic portrait of the father of modern computing, Alan Turing. Well, those are the news this hour. I'm Paolo del Rosario, sitting in for Maya Rodriguez. Keep it here on BNC, the Bilyonaryo News Channel. Good afternoon.